Okay guys, just do a quick preview for Hobart on Saturday. Rails out 5 metres, good for, still meant to be sort of low 20s in Tassie the next couple of days, so this weather's been unbelievable to be honest, but we'll get on to the races. The first for the maidens over the 1600. They nearly all went round in the same race last time. I think Fancy Dan's ran second, Kandahar third, Teddy's Fault fourth, Crystal's Pass fifth. Hell Baby, I think sixth, all behind General Sussex. I think clearly the two best runs were Kandahar and Fancy Dan's. I did actually like Kandahar from that race, as it was the one sole survivor from the on-speed runners that day. Just looking at the prices for the first, sort of do like it, but sure as hell not taking $2.80. If you get $3.50 close to jump, might be worth a bet, but other than that I'd probably just watch them go round. The second, obviously the 2-year-old debutante. From the trials you have to go with GG Queen Bee and GG Second Over. The jockeys tend to get the picks. Siggy gets the pick of the Gandhi GGs, and Newett appears to get the pick of the Wells ones currently, so and that's where we are. Just over the 1,000, obviously GG Second Over, was really liked how strong he was on the line in the trial. Even though Queen Bee went predominantly quicker, just over an extra sort of 300 metres, just the way he attacked the line, I think sort of probably you're forced to pick one, but there's no value in either of their prices either. So if we're looking at 225, 175, you'd want to be a bit more confident in either of those prices, but I've always liked watching the 2-year-olds. The third, Mandela Effects, just don't think there's probably a maiden going better in Tassie at the moment than it, so deserves to win. But one of the things I learnt working in Darwin, if you take short odds horses that get back, they'll send you broke, so it's hard to see anything of the race brigade beating him. The word's out, it's resuming, just have a chance, but the only real query is Quick Quill has been good at the trial, so confident that probably if you want to bet in the race, that Cornella might be the go. Mandela Effect, Quick Quill, 3 and 13, but once again, I'm not going to get involved. The fourth, few get back runners here. Boxer Frogs got away with murder and won last time, might just be the case again even at the weights. The only query this time, you're going to have a horse that settling close to it with a good finishing burst. We'll actually back Concentrate and Hyperbole last time. Pretty merit in both of their runs actually, so just from the slightly better gauge I can see Hyperbole being the one camped on Boxer Frog, so just that way. As I said, but I'm not overly keen on the first few races. The staying test for the maidens class 1s, obviously Torquay was very impressive last time, leading throughout, beating Moorcroft, who stamped the form with another super run since, so got to give both of those a big chance. Chief Navigator stays all day. There's one at the top here, Akbar J, had no luck whatsoever last time, should have finished much closer. So in these type of races, I'm not overly keen on them. You're getting $14 each way, or just if you want to have a small interest in the race. I think something, 1x2 basis, Akbar J might be the go. But forced to pick top pick, I'd go Torquay. He just looked a horse with plenty of upside last time, still learning about the caper, but could make genuine cases for 3 or 4 of them in the event. The 6th, probably the most, the race on the day most looking forward to. GG Lynette, just under the weights. It's hard to see her giving weight to the other two. Not potting her at all, just obviously they're two very good horses and she's giving them weight, so do tend to come back to Mr. Songman and Daraza. Both could not have been more impressive at their last start. Despite, I'm going to go, Mr. Songman will get me just on the basis I think he's just raw ability untapped. Sort of last time it was just ticked every box, did work in the run, beat older, more seasoned horses and smashed their heads in. Yeah, he'd be the one I'd settle on, but it's no knock on Duraza at all, or GG Lynette. Nordic Thunder trialled very well the other day. Might be the best of the rest. So, yeah, it's another one of those races where I do like Mr. Songman, but with it, I'm keen enough to back him at, what is he, about 250 or something like that. Yeah, 260. Yeah, I think I'm confident one of those two will win. I said, just GG Lynette giving them sort of 2.5 kilos is a big ask, but yeah, we'll go Mr. Songman was forced to pick one. The 7th is a tough race, but ton of speed here. You've got Laddie and the Rocket, Tough Missile, Galileo Cerdo, Boart, just to name a few. And Fascinating Lady is the one we pointed out last time. It was just enormous run. First up, goes from 1,000 to 1,100, but conversely draws a lot better this time. And so I might just go have a look at the replay. So you can see it's in the, what is it? I think it's the national flag of Denmark colours or something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
Go.
So it draws wide on this occasion.
Light blinking away, 1,000 metres.
So there it is. Yeah, there you can see it sort of missed start a couple of lengths and just gets ridden, hard ridden all the way. You can see it's like still 4 deep working now. Yeah, and there's a couple of other horses in this race backing up. You know, you've got Lady Jane, Galileo Cerdo leading on the fence here. So here's Lady Jane who wins the race, but as I said, here's Fascinating Lady just sticking to it. It's guns unbelievably well after the torrid run. You know, you look at that, it's hard to see the extra 100 metres being too much of an issue. You know, J. Mesquiel, barrier 3, should camp on hot speed, so very happy to be on. You get about $6.57. Yeah, so be very happy to jump on there. Obviously, the one I'm scared to death of is Sav's Finale, who's first up. Was scratched midweek, obviously like this race a bit better, and did bolt in first up last campaign in a over similar distance. So obviously it's a huge query, and yeah, but still happy to be on Fascinating Lady if as long as she repeats the last run and hasn't flattened her as it was a bit of a gut buster. And in the last, pretty even lot these. Like Ash Shanachie beat Turtle's Nest, who came out and won. Again, did have plenty of favours last time with a very soft lead, but when you look at the complexion of this race, it's probably only Century Duty you'd imagine might be kicking up this time. So just when you look at the odds, as obviously it's Ollie's a Stars and got a great Hobart record, but you know, you're copying double figures. It went super last time in Launceston. Savage the line. I just, you know, you can make cases for virtually the entire top 6 or 7 of them. But double figure odds. If the race is in Launceston, I'd be over that. I'd be having a max bet at $13. So just take that punt that handles Hobart. Obviously, firm ground's not an issue. Ran well last time, so I don't think you can go far wrong. So, as I mentioned, so I don't like picking the blatantly obvious when I do these previews. So, actually, we might just have a look at if I'm going to tip one, just to show the logic behind it. Ollie's a Star's last run in Launceston. So it is here, back on the inside. And it was a night, as we pointed out in the review of the race, they absolutely walked early over Rougeau. And I can't even think of the name of the horse, Gallowgate. Obviously Gallowgate's since come out and won twice since. You can see it's held up back on the fence here, Ollie's a Star. So still sort of held up here a little bit. Goes back to the inside. And it's, remember this is Gallowgate outside it, who's since come out and won 2 races since, and is going to the line just as well. So very happy to be on at double figure odds. Yeah, so just confirming then, the 2 at odds that we're keen on are Ollie's a Star in the last and Fascinating Lady, so the last 2 races. So we're getting odds both of them. Of the shorties, actually Akbar J was another one I thought worthy of a bet. So you're getting double figures, Akbar J, Ollie's a Star, and $6.57 about Fascinating Lady. Do think the favourites in most of the other races, Kandahar, if you get sort of near 350, well worth a bet. 2-year-olds just too many X factors. Mandela Effect does look the winner, but Royston Carr Stable just winning everything at the moment, and Quick has trialled well, so Quinella might be the safest play. Hyperbole, but Tempo, that race scares me to death to bet with confidence. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So forced to pick one of the shorties, I'd probably go with Mr. Songman to beat Daraza, but yeah, but no pot on her at all. She was mighty impressive last time, and if it wasn't for a little horse called Iron Wesley, she'd still be the Launceston track record holder. So, and fair to say that Iron Wesley form has stood up okay, but it might have been sucked in a little bit by his last run, Mr. Songman, with the margin and things, but really liked it, so happy to stay on board, and we'll make him the best if we're going to have a win-only bet on the day. But as we said, so best win-only Mr. Songman, and the best each way in race 7 on Fascinating Lady, and at odds double figures Ollie's a Star in the last, and Akbar J in race 5. So anyway, guys, we will wrap it up there, and until Wednesday night, we'll leave you with it. But thanks again.